Going to figure out the area of these common 2D shapes. So we've got a circle here, pi r squared is what we'll do for that one. Pi r squared, and the radius will be half of the diameter from one side to the other, radius halfway across. So it's actually going to be pi times 1 squared. 1 squared is 1. Pi times 1 will just be pi. So that will be pi meters squared. But for the actual numerical answer, just put in pi into your calculator, and it'll be 3.14 meters squared. For B is a bit of an interesting one. So a couple of different ways of looking at it. You could just do the two triangles individually, and let's say if it's 10 centimeters in total from one side to the other, you could say 6, you could say 4. Another way of looking at it, because both triangles have the same height, you could just imagine that instead of it being two triangles and split up the way it is, you could just see it as one big, longer triangle, like this, where it's almost like this extra part has just been added to the end, and therefore you would only just have to do half base times height the once using 10. Because remember, if you do it for 6 as a base and 4 as a base with the same height, you add those two together, you're going to get the same as if you just did it for 10. So half base times height, which would be half 10, which is 5. 5 times 6 is 30. 30 centimeters squared is our answer for that one. Keeping in mind as well, just like I'd shown you for earlier ones, if you end up getting this, I'm going to put this as a different color. I'll rub it out in a second though. If you ended up getting this part and adding it to this, and you're making it one big long triangle like this, the reason it's half base times height is because height times base will end up actually getting you the area of a rectangle. But a triangle can always be, especially when it's a right angle triangle, it will always be just half of a rectangle. That's why we do half base times height. Anyways, I'll get rid of that little drawing. Going on with the next one, I'll just stay in red color for now. Again, you've got a bit of a crooked rectangle, just make it straight. If it was to be straight, if you did push those sides across to make them perfectly vertical, it'd be 20 times 40, which is 800 millimeters squared. And with the last one, it's just width times height. Multiply those two numbers together, 11.2 times 4.8, and you get 53.76 meters squared. So there's those ones. Just leave any comments below if you've got any questions about anything.